All right, look live, Jarvis. It's playtime.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's Spot Show live stream. Yes, I am live and in living color, so go ahead and let me know you're here if you're watching it. Uh, Join me in the chat. Like I said, just give me your opinions or just give me a good old hello. That's always cool. And yeah, feel disoriented. I almost blinded myself just a second ago. But anyway, more on that later. Lots of things to get into. Lots of AEW stuff. So we got Dynamite, we got Revolution, and somebody who sent a mean tweet. Anyway, let's go ahead and hit the intro button and get things started.
What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake. Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello again, folks. This is Ronald Ray. You don't have to change the channel just yet. I meant you change channels on this. Anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in. What's up, Joe King? Yes, be like Joe. If you're watching this live, go ahead and say hello. That's always cool. Like I said, a few things to get to this evening. Not too much because been a long week. Cap it off. I think I almost blinded myself accidentally. Uh, if you're using like a little spotlight or whatever, make sure the thing's off before you plug it in. Or if you plug it into like an outlet where you got to flip a switch, make sure the light is off before you flip that switch, or you're at least far enough away from it to where when you cut it on, just don't blow up in your face like it just did me. So if I'm squinting, seem disoriented, like I said, a long week this week. more happy days here in the Hampton Inn, at least the first couple of days. But I'll talk about that tomorrow night because, as you can see, I am on location at the Hampton Inn. But before I just want to reiterate that folks been pretty nice here. They've they've accommodated me. It's just not the greatest experience, that's all. But anyway, let's see. What should we get to first? Let's quickly touch on this. Touch on Ricochet being a meanie head. That's right. So I guess Ricochet was a little upset about, spoiler alert, what we're going to talk about later. Ricochet is no longer the AEW National Champion. And I guess he, in character, of course, threw a little temper tantrum in the locker room. The video went viral and, of course, got put on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And and this lady right here, Sandy T, she had some laughing emojis and said, "Hey, his acting hasn't improved," or said his acting hasn't improved. And the light skinned King Ricochet responded, "I'm glad you got MS. MS is multiple sclerosis." I don't know if you remember. I don't know if any of y'all old enough to remember the Jerry Lewis Labor Day weekend telethon. They, I don't know how many years he did it, raise money for MS, and it's not a good thing. It's like a lot of things. Not a good thing to have, not a good thing to live with. So he's getting a lot of heat from that, and he's I don't know. You kind of understand why now that when he was in the WWE, um, if he had any ideas or how can you say this? He didn't have any creative freedoms in the WWE. We are starting to see why. Good, good wrestler in the ring. He does a lot of fancy moves. They look great, but man, uh, like I said, we are learning that there's a reason they didn't give him a lot of creative freedoms. Uh, it can be just cringeworthy and just not good at all. I mean, I like Gates of Agony. They could potentially be a good trio, but soon as Ricochet gets on that mic, he's just annoying. It's not good. And I know there's people who were like defending him, like, oh, what about when Christian Cage said this about this person's father? It's like, well, those are people in character, and I'm pretty sure Christian said, hey, is it cool if I say this? Anytime they kind of shoot the realistic daggers at each other, I'm pretty sure things are okay. But as far as I know, Miss T and Ricochet do not know each other, and just to say someone's glad they got anything, even a cold. I mean, a cold could be not fun for a few days anyway, but you know, telling somebody they're glad they got MS, kind of getting below the belt. It could be just me being a softy, but uh, I mean, you have plenty. You type that. You you have plenty of time to type it out. Think about it before you push send. Um, and he's not a he's not a young guy. He's what 30, at least mid to late 30s now. Um, Now should he get fired? I don't think so. Just uh, do a public thing, on Dynamite next week to say, look, we gotta we are professionals here. We gotta address our fans, especially on social media, that uh, we are in a professional manner. Um, Unless you do kind of. I mean, the only thing she did said was his acting hasn't improved. There's 20 different. I mean, he could just done the usual. Hey, I still make more money than you, or something like that. That would have been a big deal. But um, I mean, what if that was at an arena somewhere? And I mean, you've seen fans say some harsh things towards wrestlers, and wrestlers get really mad, like really, really mad. And I kind of, and it's almost like anything else on social media when they show those arena footage of someone wrestler getting really mad at a fan. It's like, okay, what was said before? But not to harp on that too much, but I mean, we see it right here. It's like this lady said, hey, your acting hasn't improved. And he shoots back, I'm glad you got MS. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And you kind of wonder too if that was if say he came out, you know, uh, walked the aisle to the ring, walked around the ring towards the crowd, and some young fan in a wheelchair says, "You suck," and what's he going to respond? Glad you can't walk. I mean, that's if a parent's there, especially a dad, that might be a parent jumping that rail, Um, so yeah, stuff like that. It's not cool, especially this day and age. Neither fans nor wrestlers can get by with what they said. Shoot, do I got? Let's do the fingers. It's 20. It's 2026, not 1976, not 1966, not even 1986. Hell, not even 1996. Um, I say about the time 2001, 2002, you kind of started the beginning of you kind of watch what you say, because you don't know who you might offend. I mean, if you've ever been to AEW show, they put on there as a hey, kind of watch your language. Do not say anything could offend somebody's sexual orientation, gender, religious, race, or anything like that. So, I guess Tony Khan needs to say, hey, don't make fun of somebody who has a disease, But so he's in a bit hot water for that. But like I said, I I personally don't think he should be fired over it. Maybe fine, suspension. Um, kind of make it public too. Have Tony Khan either go on social media or live on Dynamite before the show starts. Say, hey, one of our wrestlers um, says something that uh, was out of line, and we're going to suspend him $5,000 and suspend or fine him $5,000 and uh, suspend him for a month, which was what you know 4 dynamites, 5 dynamites maybe. But other than that, uh, I think I think he did make an apology somewhere, but I didn't search for it. So, but uh, yeah, just do your apology on there. To have Tony Khan go on there and say, yeah, we've fined and suspended Ricochet for a little bit, and that'd be it. He wasn't on Dynamite this week, um, but like I said, it is what it is. All right. And something that happened last week, I totally forgot. I did put the picture up. Well, I did save the picture in a file uh, to talk about this, but I didn't put it in my notes, and I didn't put it in my notes again this week. But we'll live along. So looks like AEW is getting into the streaming business, which smart on their part. This comes at the cuff of or the aftermath of Paramount possibly buying WB, in which part of that WB contract will be possibly AEW if they um, get the option last year or one more year that he'll be Paramount. So kind of nipped it in the bud a little bit for them. We'll see how it goes, but for right or they do got a a free what do you call it? Uh, a free package, I guess you can say. Uh, Fast channel with AEW podcast. Um, I don't know what the free doesn't really say what the free is going to include, but so we got the $7.99 monthly AEW or watch AEW Fast channel, AEW podcast, AEW Dynamite and Collision. Give me 1 second, folks. I think I don't have to. I'm old, man. I'm old. Got that one. There we go. There we go. We can read it. So yes, the $7.99 monthly, you get the watch AEW Fast Channel, AEW Podcast, AEW Dynamite and Collision Live, Ring of Honor TV, Honor Club TV Live, Ring of Honor pay-per-views live if during month. I don't know. And the AEW TV archive. Okay. Don't sound too bad. Then they got another tier, $19.99 monthly plus PPV. You got Watch AEW Fast Channel, AEW Podcast, one AEW pay-per-view airing during current month, AEW Dynamite Collision, Ring of Honor Honor Club TV, Ring of Honor pay-per-view, AEW TV archive, and select AEW pay-per-view archives. Let's see, and they also got a annual tier which you pay for 1 year, $119.99, and that covers you for the whole year. Watch AEW Fast Channel, AEW Podcast, AEW 2026, AEW, all 2026 AEW pay-per-views, AEW Dynamite Collision, or Dynamite and Collision, AEW Ring of Honor, Honor Club TV, Ring of Honor pay-per-view, AEW TV archive, and select AEW pay-per-view archives. So it don't sound bad. Heck, I mean, and that's kind of a thing I'll do if something's available for like all year. I'll usually just pay the all year. It's usually around Christmas time, because that's when I get gift cards and stuff. So you kind of do that. Uh, but it don't sound too bad of a deal. Get all the pay-per-views. Don't have to worry about shelling out, what, 40 to 50 bucks a month if you can watch every pay-per-view. Uh, mm. And it'll help me out watching pay-per-views. That means, especially the ones that are on Sundays. That means I at least watch some of it on Sunday, then watch the rest either Monday or whenever I get a chance to. Plus, what was I going with that? I also get to watch the Ring of Honor pay-per-views. I haven't watched Ring of Honor in forever. But the Ring of Honor, like TV, well, I guess the Honor Club TV, I guess you get those. But I did read if you want to watch like the real Ring of Honor, pre-pandemic, pre-Tony Khan buying them, you still gotta go to the Ring of Honor streaming service to get that. And I think they only, like last I heard, only got like 36,000 subscribers. And I wonder how much of those actually do watch Ring of Honor weekly. Trying to think of the word, regularly. And it wasn't something that was like, oh, we got it for a month and watched a few things and totally forgot about it, like some of us do. But again, I think this is kind of a smart move for them. A good, just in case. Just in case. Paramount, after they buy them, say, look, here's the TV deal we'll give you. If you can find better, go ahead. If not, let's sign you up. Now, I don't know how many. I'll have to do the math on that. And I think they still. I ain't seen this week's AEW Dynamite ratings. I'm pretty sure it might be a little bump in there. Might be 650, maybe hit 700,000 this week. But all those 16 or 600 thousand people regularly, averagely, on average, 500 to 600 people is going to actually pay for the service. Trying to think. So if you do the $19.99 a month, I can almost see that just to see the dynamites and collisions. I can't even tell you when last time I watched a collision. So, uh, but I mean that the 19.99 annually, like I said, you get all the dynamites, collisions, the AEW TV archive, select AEW pay-per-views, and the Ring of Honor TVs and pay-per-views, plus all the 2026 AEW pay-per-views. Wonder if they'll extend that when you when your year's up with it, or with it actually float over to, because it's March now. I sign up. Uh, so do I get from March to March? March 2026 to March 2027 pay-per-views. How much potentially will that go up? Who knows? But I might actually look into this and might actually get it. I'll think about it. I will actually think about it. Tell me what y'all folks think. Y'all think this is a actually smart idea? So I mean, it gives them some place to air their product until, like I said, if Paramount says we'll give you a contract, but it's not going to be as much, or no, we're not going to even offer you anything. So it gives them kind of something to be able to still have AEW Dynamite shows, collisions, pay-per-views, which or at least Dynamite and Collision until they can find another network. And maybe if this thing kind of takes off, they do good. It could be one of those what do you call it? Um, Something that it gives them a little bit of advantage too, and as far as negotiations for TV deals. Because I just don't think, and see, this is, I'm surprised that it hasn't. Uh, I don't know. Netflix, and this AEW doing on stream is two different things. Netflix is an established streaming service. Netflix is, bought more content for their streaming service. That's all it was. They bought the rights to air Raw, so that's all that was. Now AEW, they're wanting to ask fans to pay for their streaming service to watch their TV shows, which again, uh, I won't say free, but um, it is, again, it was part of their cable package, TBS, TNT. So now you want me, pay $20 a month just to watch your dime, or maybe 119. That doesn't sound like a bad deal, really. I don't think I have to do the numbers. Yes, even though I work for an engineering company, that doesn't mean I can just do math in my head. But anyway, something for me to think about. But it's out there. I think it's at least a smart idea for now. Uh, that way they can still put out original content for their pay-per-views and or Dynamite as along with Collision in case something happens come next year when if Paramount fully takes over, or whoever takes over. All right, so that's that. Let's see. So Let's keep it on AEW. Speaking of which, pay-per-views. Let me. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So AEW this past Sunday had their pay-per-view, which was Revolution. We got. Oh, nope. That's this week's. I was about to mess up there. And what was that? Staples Center, I do believe. So yes, I can already go ahead and tell you. Even if I did get the pay-per-view, I am so glad I missed this match. Nothing against QT Marshall or the Infantry. I kind of dig the Infantry. They're pretty good. The Big Boom AJ, I could have done without. With Aaron Solo, it's the Whistler. Is he that annoying kid? What am I talking about? They're both annoying. Anyway, Boom and Doom will go on to defeat the Infantry in 7 minutes 40 seconds. Good gosh, how many people do they need in each other's corners? So Boom and Doom, Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall at Aaron Solo, Big Justice, and the Rizzler in their corner. The Infantry, who is Captain Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo or Carly Bravo, excuse me, had Christian XO, Shane Taylor, and Trish Adore. But anyway, glad I missed that one. This one I really like this scene. Willow Nightingale defended her AEW TBS Championship against Lena Cross. We're going to defeat Lena Cross by pinfall. So this is kind of like the WWE Network. Yeah, kind of. Except for the network didn't have Raws. Well, I guess they would. Didn't they do like the Raw and SmackDowns like a week after? Wasn't live. That's about the only. Well, the one difference is yes, it's like the network. Especially if you pay for now you gotta have the year package if you want to get all the pay-per-views. I think that's right. But that's almost the way I understood it. But anyway, so yeah, to get the pay-per-views, you get the year package, and you get AEW. Gosh, now I gotta look back at it. And all right. I already so okay. For the 19, you get one AEW pay-per-view airing during current month. Okay, there's an asterisk. Let me. Okay, so included in subscription, available in library 90 days after original broadcast. And it says it on both the yearly and monthly tier. So after 90 days, if you ain't watched the pay-per-view within 90 days, you don't get to see it again. But yeah, and of course they don't have any of the classic territories or anything like that. Vinnie Mac bought all those libraries like World Class, and of course when they bought WCW, they bought what Crockett had, and when he bought Okay. So when he first bought the time slot for George, when he first bought Georgia Championship Wrestling, that's when he bought the library. But then the library got turned over to Crockett when Crockett bought Georgia back. Then when, uh, excuse me, then when he bought WCW, which Turner owned all that, they, I forgot what all they had. I think they had. I don't understand why they don't have Florida because Crockett owned Florida as well. Yeah, 240 a year compared to 1999. Yeah. Don't forget taxes on that 1999. But still, it's still less than 240. That's if you go get every pay per view. But anyway, speaking of pay per views, let's get back to Revolution. I'll get back to the comments in a minute. So just keep coming with your comments. I'll get to them. If I don't get to them right then, I'll definitely scroll and get to them. Let's see. So yes. So next they had the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal for the AEW National Championship. I already spilled the beans. Ricochet lost that match. He was eliminated last by. This really shouldn't be surprised. I guess I just went thinking about it. It was Jungle Jack Perry win the Battle Royal. He is your new AEW National Champion. Whoop-de fucking do. All right. Kicking off the main show was a match for the World Tag Team Championships of AEW. It was FTR defeating the Young Bucks, retaining those tag team titles. And of course, the music hit. The screen said revenge. Out comes Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. They came out. Actually, Adam came out first. Got the distraction. Then Christian's music came on. He snuck behind him, sprayed something, and I think it was Cash's eyes or something like that, or Dax's eyes. Copeland ran in and speared the other one, and pretty much made it aware that they want the championships next. More on that later. Next up, everyone was banned from ringside, and it was Timeless Tony Storm defeating Marina Shafir by pinfall. 9 minutes and 50 seconds on that one. And we have another big surprise. It was Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, who is, I guess, going to be promoting her fight against Gina Carano. Might as well say fight. Against Gina Carano. I got my suspicion on how legit that one is. I hope Gina wins, by the way. I mean, either legit, not legit. I hope Gina wins. But anyway, so yes, Ronda Rousey came out, called out Tony Storm. Tony Storm ran to the ring and security and everybody broke them up. So no fisticuffs there. Next up, we had John Moxley. He defeated Kansuke Takeshita in a technical submission. No time limit match for the AEW Continental Championship. 23 minutes, 25 seconds. I really just want Takeshita to win. So Death Riders have been at least Moxley has been kind of babyface-ish. And that's the reason I thought, okay, maybe Takeshita wins and they go in and Death Riders kick Moxley out or something like that. But that didn't happen. Another big return of the night. Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay came out and took out the Death Rider. So now I guess John Moxley's back a heel again, just like that. All right, next up was a women's tag team match for the Women's World Tag Team Championship. Hey, I got this one right. Divine Domination, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross defeated Babes of Wrath, Holly Cameron, and Willow Nightingale by pinfall. So congratulations to them. Even though I do like Harley Quinn, I do like Willow Nightingale. Mega Bane, oof. She's dangerous. Oh, she's dangerous. Attractive, but dangerous. Let's see. Next up, we had Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. He defeated Brody King by pinfall. And as Brody King was about to, or as Swerve Strickland, sorry, was about to, I guess, put King's head on a cylinder block. I guess he's going for a stomp. That's when, oops, I messed up here. I forgot Kenny Omega's picture. But anyway, Kenny Omega comes out, chases off Swerve Strickland before he can do any kind of damage to Brody King. Next up, we had Tekla. She successfully defended her AEW Women's World Championship, defeating Chris Statlander 2 falls to 1 in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And hey, in case you didn't know, Mystico is officially all elite. He has signed a contract to AEW. So hey, gotta give him a belt, and that's why you had Mystico and Jet Speed defeat the Don Callis family, Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis for those trios tag team championship. Andrade El Idolo with Don Callis defeated Bandito by pinfall. Yeah, you have. I'll get to that later. Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roger Strong defeated the Dogs, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors by pinfall in a Tornado Trios tag match. And in your main event, I'm kind of shocked by this, even though I did predict he would win, but still kind of shocked that he did win. MJF defeated Hangman Adam Page in a last chance Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. Since Page lost, he will never be able to challenge for the AEW World Championship again. Did hear that, I guess he's about to take some time off again, and I guess nurse some injuries or something like that. I didn't read a full article, but the internet, take it for what it's worth, said he was taking a little time off. All right, back to the chat here. Yes, they have current Ring of Honor. They don't have. Yeah, still more than $9.99. Yeah, but they don't have classic Ring of Honor. If you want to see classic Ring of Honor, you gotta purchase the Ring of Honor. Was it Honors Club streaming service to get classic Ring of Honor stuff? Maybe they'll come next year. They'll include that. Now, if it included that, I'll probably be like, okay, got to get it, because I would love to see some classic. Before there were stars, Ring of Honor stuff. Man, why is everybody bugging me tonight? But I mean, I was somewhat thinking about doing a Ring of Honor streaming service. Then I was like, no. It would be kind of cool watch the classic stuff, but uh, but it, way my time works sometimes. I'll probably watch a few things, then not watch it for a while, then watch a few more things. It'll take me probably years and years to, and I probably won't, it'll be like 1 or 2 months. I'll still have it, but not watch anything. And I'm kind of barely barely able to keep up with what I'm trying to keep up with now. I'm trying to keep up with TNA too, and I'm not doing a good job of that. Barely doing a decent job keeping up with NXT. So, but I'm trying, folks. I'm trying. I'm trying. Seriously, I am. But no, I don't think. I don't think they're gonna do that angle, whatever I was talking about. So no worries there. I'm pretty sure they'll do something stupid. I'm sure. Uh, to get Adam Page back in that title contention. I guess that I guess if MJF loses it, um, and you say, hey, that contract was just for MJF, and it wasn't for anybody else. There's some fine print on that contract, but they'll figure something out. They'll figure out some kind of loophole. Something that really wouldn't make sense. I'm not saying my little fancy booking harebrained idea will work. All right. And let's go ahead and finish AEW off for tonight with a recap from last night's AEW. There we go. Fuck, I didn't record a fucking thing. So yes, this is the AEW Dynamite recap portion. It took place at the Save Mart Center in Fresno, California. And this is the aftermath of Revolution. So let's see what we got going on. First match of the night was the returning Will Ospreay. He went up against Blake Christian. Decent match here. Blake mocked Will Ospreay off and flipped him off. Went for the hidden blade. Ospreay nailed him when he charged in. Then finished Christian off with a hidden blade. Will addressed the crowd, saying, I don't need weapons and everything to break your effing neck. I can do it with my bare hands. And that's when John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta came out. Ospreay held his own till Pat came out and attacked Will Ospreay, put the brutalizer on him, then got that separated, but they would continue to fight after security was trying to take Pac to the back there. Now, my thing was, yes, this is a good match, and I understand that sometimes you gotta give your opponent some shine. And Blake Christian is good. No offense to him or anything like that. This, like I said, this is just my opinion. But Blake Christian's not even a mid carder, and to me, he's not a mid carder or higher. He's barely mid carder. I mean, I think every match I've seen him in, at least in AEW, he might have won some in Collision, but he got 4 to 500,000 people, less people watch Collision than they do Dynamite. But Blake looked too much like a contender. I mean, like I said, I understand. Give your opponent something so you're not being a nobody, but you can't really. I mean, he was doing the dives and looked really good and looked on Will Ospreay's level, but everybody knew he wasn't on his level, especially on the card. Come on, you're AEW. All you got the smart Mort fans. So and fans popped when he came out and everything, or popped when Will Ospreay came out. Should have been like a quick little display. Not quick, but like I said, give Blake a few little spots here and there, but he's doing main attraction type stuff like the dives and stuff like that. Um, and even right there at the end, flipped him off and like he might actually beat Will Ospreay, but no, nobody bought it. Um, but like I say, he had the attack at the end. This should have been this a match. Maybe a couple spots that you could have gave Christian inside the ring. You know, nothing too flashy. Maybe work on the neck a little bit. Just let the crowd know the neck's fine. Um, then you had the attacking the Death Riders, Pac, Yuta, and John Moxley come out anyway. That's where you put the brutalizer on them. Maybe have Mox and Yuta kick out a few times, and once security and other wrestlers came out to help out, even at odds against or help out Osprey and all that. That's where no nobody helps him. He kind of gets up on his own and twists a snake like that. Say, "Oh, I'm good." Then give a promo. Say, "Look, bruv, deck's fine. Let's effing go." Something like that. That's the way I would have done it. Anyway, let's see. Next match. Of course, as this melee was going on, the Bang Bang Gang, Ace Austin and Juice Robinson, took on Wheeler Yuta and John Moxley. Been a bit since I've seen Juice Robinson on Dynamite. I think I've seen Ace on there once when he took on John Moxley. Tag team match here. Yuta will take Juice out. John pinned Ace John pinned Ace after the Death Rider DDT. Nothing big on that. Man, how the Bang Bang Gang have fallen. Pretty sad here. I liked, what was it? Bullet Club Gold. I liked Jay White, Juice Robinson, and the Gun Brothers. Liked them all. Ace, I've seen a little bit of him. He's all right, but need to get those four. But I mean, they were like almost. I mean, Jay White did face MJF on a pay per view for the title, and I guess unfortunately he keeps getting hurt. But sometimes that's a style that's a sometimes with a style you wrestle at. Sometimes you gotta pay those consequences. All right. Next up, we had a coffin match featuring Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin. So yes, this is okay. I wish I had more visuals on here, but hear me out. So got a coffin match here on Dynamite. Not a pay-per-view on Dynamite. Go figure. A blow-off match on Dynamite instead of a pay-per-view. Again, go figure. So this started in a parking lot. Gabe Kidd looked at the camera and said, "Look, I'm ready to go. This golf match is going to start right now. Meet me in the parking lot." So Gabe's out there waiting. Here comes Darby Allin with his car. Comes in. They start, fighting, and Darby gets the upper hand. I guess puts ether or some kind of wet stuff on a cloth, and put it over his mouth. Darby put Gabe in the trunk of the car. Darby gets in the car, proceeds to drive, wrecks the car, causes him to flip over with him and Gabe Kidd in it. Wait, there's more. So Darby used a production truck or production box where they put the speakers or whatever to help Will Kidd who to the arena, to ringside. Um, so Darby partially put Gabe Kidd in a straitjacket, was about to clock him with a skateboard, but Gabe kicked Darby in the Wilbos. Uh, both guys bled again on Dynamite, not a pay per view. But Allen was able to come back, hit 2 coffin drops, fought a little bit. Gabe got outside. Darby suicide dive through the ropes onto Gabe Kidd, knocking him in a coffin. When he got knocked in the coffin, the door shut. Darby wins. So uh, wild stuff just on a Dynamite. Next up, we had Swerve Strickland addressing the crowd earlier that night. Kenny Omega challenged Swerve for the number one contendership. It's surprising that I'm surprised that Tony Khan hasn't made a belt for just being a number one contender, but trying not to get the guy any ideas. So Swerve got on the mic, said it made no sense to beat Omega Ken and him get nothing for it. So he said, Omega put up that EVP position and let's go. So next week it will be on Dynamite, Swerve Strickland, Kenny Omega, Swerve's number one contendership versus Kenny Omega's EVP position. So if Swerve wins, Swerve is now one of the EVP, Executive Vice Presidents of AEW. Boy, that's some WCW indie shit, ain't it? All right. I don't have a good visuals on this one either. I wish I did. So we have Mark Davis against Speedball Mike Bailey. First of all, high fiving somebody with your bare nasty foot is fucking nasty. Yuck. Don't do that. That's disgusting. Don't 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 patronize them, fans. That shit's nasty. So anyway, here's how the match ended. The 6'4", 240-pound Mark Davis clothesline the 5'8", 174-pound Speedball Mike Bailey till he flipped over, then proceeded to pile drive him, only to get a 2 count. Speedball set up as he was Hulk Hogan, all hulking up or speedballing up. I guess that's why they call him Speedball. I don't know. Just kidding. But anyway, Speedball make a quick little comeback, ended it with the Ultima Weapon. Again. What the hell? Who booked this shit? All right. Now, this was supposed to have been a no holds bar match between Timeless Tony Storm and Marina Shafir, who just had a match on Sunday on the pay per view. But Tony Storm was attacked. So Mina Shakira would take her spot. Again, it wasn't like Tony and Marina had a match this past Sunday. Whatever. Marina, I will say, does seem to be getting better. As I typed that, she delivered a backdrop suplex on the table from the apron. She took the full brunt of the table, but Mina almost landed kind of wrong right there on the floor. But Mina was able to recover, cracked Shavir with a champagne bottle, and ended it with a Storm Zero pile driver. So the new mystery is who attacked Tony Storm. Tony Schiavone was like, "Hey, I don't think it was the Death Riders because I seen them and all that, or seen Marina with the Death Riders as it happened. So don't think it was them. So maybe don't know why they're gonna put. I guess Mina attacked her, or are they gonna introduce somebody else, or was it Ronda Rousey? Oh, by the way, the big surprise of Ronda Rousey wasn't there for this show. Kenny Omega had a pre-taped segment. At least we got to see Will Ospreay come back. So there's uh, one of the many surprises that happened, but no Ronda Rousey. Uh, and I'm pretty sure she's not that cheap. Anyway, main event time. It was the Young Bucks with the new AEW National Champion, Jack Perry. They went up against Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, and Kazuchika Okada, uh, part of the Don Callis family. Sorry, folks, I can't help but laugh when Jack Perry does a little Raven pose, and I'm still thinking, quote, the goat. But anyway, that's me. I should say quote the sheep. More of a sheep. But anyway, but try as they must. I not speak for all fans, but don't seem fans or give two shits about him. Anyway, match ended with a BTE trigger, then a running knee from Jack Perry on Rocky Romero, wins it for the Bucks and Perry. Bucks address the crowd saying they're so embarrassed, so ashamed of themselves. They really thought that was going to win the AEW World Tag Team titles again from FTR. They got all their family out there, only to lose in front of everybody. The next day, I guess it was his birthday, and he's all doom and gloom. And their dad said, "Hey, boy, turn that frown upside down, Junior. You're still the best tag team around." Uh, and that's what they shouted. Say, "Hey, we're still the best tag team of this generation." That's when Adam Copeland and Christian Cage came out and say, "Hey, no disrespect to you guys, uh, but once we beat FTR, not only are we going to prove that we're the best tag team in our generation, but now we're going to be the best tag team in your generation." FTR did come out, get a little bit of a whooping before they got chased back. Then Edge and the Buck and Christian and the Buck grabbed a belt and had that little face off there. Then the Bucks relinquished the belts and got out of the ring, and that's how it goes off. But like I said, a few things just didn't quite make sense to me. It could have been this, hey, it's Wednesday and I was in a grouchy mood. Gosh. So let's go back to the chat here. Yes, still more than $9.99. Joe King, what the hell did they buy except for the name usage? Well, I guess they got the ring, got the library, and like I said, I think when it was up for sale, I'm trying to think. I think Vince still owned WWE. I think he was interested in buying it, but the price tag was pretty high. And let's be honest, the only reason Vince wanted it would be for the video library, not the relaunch it. It'll have been Ring of Honor would have been dead then. I'm not saying that Tony Khan's done great things with Ring of Honor since he bought it. He he does still have regular or Ring of Honor pay-per-views. Bandito, I think, is still the world champion, even though he's featured on Dynamite. And we've seen through the years they put Ring of Honor people on there, and I'm not sure why. When they have a deep roster full of people, you got this other promotion. And I've said this before, they'll put their champion on there um, and just to lose to somebody. Uh, Athena, I forgot what name. Yeah, Athena.